All right, everybody, welcome to another edition of Versus Live. My name is Corey Baumeister.
I'm Ross Merriam.
All right, and we are going to be playing some new standard. Oh, also, don't forget, we got Director Rob here, who is going to be taking any of your questions. Say hi, Rob.
Hi, Rob.
All right, it worked.
Yeah. he does it right every time.
Yeah.
If you weren't watching Tuesday's show, we got Director Dan.
Yeah.
We got him.
We got him, finally. He will be taking all your questions if you want to tag at SCG Tour. We will answer those in between games. If you want to talk about new standard, really anything, ask us how our day is.
Yeah.
Burn Ross every once in a while. We accept it all.
Indeed.
Don't forget, we are sponsored by Star City Games and Carnox Chairs. So go to carnox.com/SCG if you want to pick up one of these, get 10% off.
Yeah.
Ooh, I think we got extra cushions. I don't know, maybe mine just wasn't working right last time. Or
been here the entire time.
Well, wow.
There is the option of a lumbar pillow too.
Yeah,
those aren't here.
I think I need it.
Yeah, if you want the lower back, that can be helpful.
You can just get all the add-ons. You can get 10% off, and you can get 50% off subscriptions today, all of September. It is September for a little bit longer.
Yeah.
So if you want to
get in quickly, get those subscriptions. They last a month. So even if you get in late,
here's my advice, do with what you want, but sub towards the end of September to all your favorite content creators. Then through the next month, you get all of the benefits. But
everybody's going nuts for September now. So there's a lot of content going on. So
that's true.
You get to take more advantage of that subscription if you do it early. But, we're happy if you do it anytime. That's for all of your favorite content creators on Twitch, not just us. We're happy if you subscribe to us. Happy if you subscribe to other people.
Mm-hmm.
Those tier 1 subs, only $2.50.
Exactly. And make sure to head to Subway if you want to get a half off a sub club or whatever. You just go tell them it's September.
Tell them Corey Baumeister sent you. And
they will, say Corey Baumeister from Versus Live sent you.
Address 123 First Street, Roanoke, Virginia.
You will get your sub club footlong for
$2.50. Phone number is 540.
Hey. Easy there. So what we're going to be doing today on Versus Live, we're going to be continuing new standard with Throne of Eldraine here. We're getting more and more cards spoiled. We're almost to the end. I think we're 60 cards away from being fully spoiled. So
probably get dumped tomorrow, I would guess.
Yep,
maybe
I think
Monday,
so, because next week I believe we have everything on Arena and Magic Online, and then pre-releases next week. Are you gonna go? Are we gonna do some battle at pre-release?
We'll see. I don't know. I'm not a big pre-releaser.
Gotcha.
That's one of the weekends that you get off, and usually I'm not playing a ton of Magic on my weekends off. So
that's fair.
But we'll see. Maybe if you goad me enough, you can probably make me do it.
I'm starting it now on camera. Yes. I'm trying to lock you down so that we got you.
I'll be there. We can just have a giant Versus Live battle.
Perfect. Well, now I don't necessarily need you to go, buddy. Me and Rob are gonna go.
That's fine by me. Thanks, Rob. Diving on that grenade for me.
Like I said, this is going to be kind of what we're really going to see from new standard here. We got a lot of cards. The decks are getting better.
They're getting better, and they're getting spicier.
Spicier, yeah. Oh, my God.
Muy caliente.
Very spicy. What are we going to be starting with on our first spice palette here?
So I'm going to be playing a mono green aggro deck. There's a lot of, very good cards, I think, for the archetype that are in Throne of Eldraine. I'm playing with Yarov, this green 4/4. It can get bigger if you play bigger creatures. I'm not really doing that in my deck because I'm trying to stay lower curve. So it's really just green 4/4, but still solid stats. We're playing Questing Beast at the top end of the curve. We've got Wildwood Preserver. This is like green 1/1. When it attacks, it gets +1/+1 if you have a non-human. Most of our creatures aren't human, so it's just kind of another 1-drop in addition to Pelt Collector.
Well, I could be wrong, but Yarvo, I think, still gets 1+1/+1 counter if it's smaller creatures, but it gets 2+1/+1 counters if you play a big creature.
Oh, that's what's messed up.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's how it is. I know the translation on Mythic Spoiler was not quite right.
The wording I have on Scryfall here, Yorvo, Lord of Garenbrig, enters the battlefield with 4+1/+1 counters on it. When another green creature enters the battlefield under your control, put a +1/+1 counter on Yorvo. Then if that creature's power is greater than Yorvo's,
you get another one.
Yeah, this card is just unbelievable.
This card is unbelievable.
So it's going to get really big because all my creatures are green.
Yeah.
That's how that works when you play mono green deck.
They're really promoting the mono green just tribe with every single color. Like everything has these triple the same converted mana cost
they're
colors.
Setting us up for devotion in the next Theros set.
Exactly, which scares me a little bit because devotion, mono blue, mono black devotion. It was an interesting format, but it wasn't for everyone. I don't know if it was necessarily for me, but R&D has just been hitting it out of the park lately. So I'm sure we'll get some good devotion mechanics, if that even is the case. We don't know. They don't tell us anything.
Slew of good green creatures here. We just got them in a nice curve. Really simple mana. I think Castle Brig. Something.
Castle Bridge?
Yes.
Brig, yeah.
We're just putting Rob to the test today.
Brig.
There we go.
Okay.
I was like, that's so close. Castle Brig is, this card people are talking about with the Primeval Titan. Here we're not really ramping with it, but it will let us, sometimes just double spell pretty often.
Mm-hmm.
When I get to 6 mana, suddenly I can play, Questing Beast and a 2-drop. Really put the pressure on turn 5. So those double spell turns are going to be really important. And it just enables them pretty easily. I've got 3 copies, 19 forests. It's going to enter untapped most of the time and just be a pretty free land. They're not even legendary.
And I mean, even just like, the triple green card into Questing Beast, take 9.
Yeah, on turn 6.
Yeah, take 9. Well, no, I'm just saying turn 3, turn 4, boom.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, this is the curve. Yeah,
that's just a great curve.
Curve deck is really strong. We saw Barkite Troll on Tuesday. That card really impressed. We got that in the 2-drop slot. Wildborn Preserver is a really nice mana sink. They can get. Oh,
you brought the troll here too, of course. I'm still sweating from what kind of destruction that card gave to my Teamer Reclamation deck last Tuesday.
What deck is it going to be destroying today?
It is going to be destroying mono red calamities, so kind of a battle as old as time here. Just big green monsters and little red creatures. I'm going to be kind of trying to combo with Calamity with the new dwarf creature. It's escaping my
Torvod.
Torben,
there we go.
Thrain of the Red Fell. So we are going to be, if you have that plus Scorch Spitter and Calamity, they just take 6. And then if it connects, they take 9. I mean, like the amount of damage that you can scale with that. And then, if we have a Chandra Torch Spitter as well, just the damage gets amplified. I mean, this could be a very explosive deck, and it really could be a scary deck looking forward. We'll see.
Yeah, it's a lot of cards that just look like they're just dealing points in 1, and then when you're when you have all these other things that exist in them, then it amplifies them all to 3, and it just multiplies out of control so quickly. With Chandra Spitfire and the Dwarf. So definitely a lot of synergies going on here. You don't see the normal mono red cards. Frenzy is in the sideboard. We don't see any runaway Steamkins, even though it is a 1/1. It's not really like attacking as a 1/1.
Steamkins. We
added some Steamkins?
Oh, okay. Yeah. I can't, in all good conscience, I couldn't play a red deck without 4 Steamkins.
Yeah. I sent Coriolis without them.
Yeah.
I don't think it's that good in this version of the deck with the way it curves, but we'll see.
I don't necessarily either, but still being able to just play like 2 3-drops in 1 turn because of the mana ability. Yeah, I just think it's too good to pass up, but without Frenzy, you're right. It's just, I easily could have just made your deck worse. So, but that's the problem I see about some of these red strategies that have a lot of synergies with all the rest of the cards in the deck, that if you don't draw the perfect combination, the deck is just usually bad. So I don't know if that's going to be the case with this. We're going to find out. But I think, we might as well just get into it.
Let's do it. I'm going to play.
Yeah, if anybody remembers, we had a heated Versus Live on Tuesday that went down to the final game, and I kind of had the nut draw against you. So the marbles remain mine, so you'll be going first.
It's okay. It's okay.
You felt good about it, right?
Felt fine. And I got a solid hand here. Some of our more important cards in the matchup and a good mix of lands and spells.
Okay. Yeah, and I think mine is reasonable as well here.
Okay, let's start on a forest. No 1-drop, but that's fine.
We'll take that. But we do have the 1-drop. Your turn.
Okay. Well, right on time. So
you drew a 1-drop, of course.
I did. I'm going to play Sir Farron, the Hedgehammer, another card that I think is quite powerful. When it attacks, it gives a creature +X/+X, where X is Sir Farron's power.
Yeah.
And so it's just a 2/2. When it's attacking with anything else, you're getting 4 power for 2 mana. And if you have any ways to pump it, like Vivian, it'll get big real quick.
Card seems great.
Yeah, and Vivian gives the creatures trample, so then this pumps like the other creature even more. And
yeah, no, the card seems absolutely great to me. So I'm going to play Robert Rich. How many cards you got? 5?
5.
Okay, so I also have 5. So we will attack with this. You don't have extra cards. You can't attack with the Scorch Spitter.
Do I just take 2? I think I do. Seeing as this card is probably going to hold down the fort. So yeah, I think I can take this too.
Okay, your turn. Yeah, and we're already seeing one of the things I was the most afraid of with mono red versus green is just my creatures being outclassed, even as early as turn 2.
Yeah.
So that is a big problem.
Play our Barkide Troll. We'll leave up a mana, so no removal spell is going to hit it.
Okay.
I'm a little worried about, say, because there's no lightning strike, there's no way to set up, I think, a double removal spell on this, which is nice. So I think I can pretty freely attack here. So let's attack for 2.
And it's other
creature. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Doesn't pump it.
That would have been sick.
No, that would be way too.
I'll go to 18.
You can go.
All right. So now, once again, our board is pretty outclassed already.
Corey can attack with Robber and try to get a card out of it, but then I'll just eat the Robber with Barkide Troll.
Yeah, I think you'd like that, wouldn't you? All right, so we're just going to go Chandra Spitfire.
Yep.
And pass 2.
That's scary.
Yeah, I hope that scares you.
Unfortunately, did not hit land 4 there.
Yay!
Kept a 3-lander and bricked off. Classic.
Yay!
So I'm wondering, what happens if Cavalcade of Calamity comes down here? You get to attack with these 2. You get 3 triggers on the Spitfire, right?
1, 2, 3. Yep.
Yeah.
So this would be 9. Yep.
You're going to want to stack the Cavalcade trigger for Spitfire on the top so it resolves first, but that's easy enough to do. And then this deals me 1. So I'll have taken 3. I'll go to 17, and this will be a 10 power creature. I'll be able to eat this, but I'll be taking 10. That's a lot.
That is a lot.
And 10 I'll be taking 13, actually.
If you don't block, right?
Well, if I can't block this.
Oh, sure.
Yeah,
and you would take 3 from the Calamity on that. Yep. Makes sense.
So that's a lot. I don't really want to do that.
Yeah, Spitfire and Calamity, just Calamity in this Cavalcade of Calamity is just really insane in this deck.
What else can I do? I'm stuck here. I've got a bunch of 4s in my hand, and I haven't drawn land 4, which is a big issue.
That seems like, I'm not a mono green expert, but I think you probably should have drawn the 4th land if you have 4 drops. But what do you think on that, Rob? Think that's good advice?
I was reading chat.
Oh, sure. I was saying if he's got all 4 drops in his hand, should he indeed want to draw a 4th land?
Probably.
Okay.
Attack and pump the Barkide Troll.
Okay. Now here, you're probably going to have more cards, but I don't know. So that is 2, 5, 6, 7. I could just not care. I think I'm supposed to just not care. I'll take it.
Brings you to 11?
Yep.
Okay. Post-combat, I'll play Growth Chamber Guardian and Wildwood Tracker.
And what does Wildwood Tracker do again?
When it attacks, if I have another non-human, it gets +1/+1.
Okay. Got it.
You can go. So this will let me do some blocking, but against Cavalcade, I need to end the game. Oh, so I'm just dead.
You gotta be, right?
So this is going to be 1... well, actually, whenever you...
Or creature you controlled, power 1 or less, attacked, deals damage. So, yep, they both stack.
Oh, yeah, it doesn't even have an intervening if.
Nope. So, you get 1,
so
2,
it doesn't even matter how
3,
it
4,
orders.
5. So, this gets plus 15.
Yeah, that's
so this
21.
Is 6. Yeah, 21 with just this.
Okay.
Wow.
That'll do, pig.
Wow. Yeah, that's an insane amount of damage. I mean, I needed land 4 here. I think we had... did you have, Vivian to kill?
I had Vivian.
Yeah.
And 2 questing beasts in my hand.
Oh, no. Yeah, pretty much. I mean, if you Vivian kill my
Spitfire,
Chandra, what do I do, The game's just over, too. So that was a little unlucky on your end, but I'll take it. Director Rob, we got any questions?
Yeah, so we have one from Salsa the Fourth.
Okay.
What do you think about Golgari with Rotting Regisaur into the Great Henge?
Oh, isn't this exactly what you were talking about, right?
Literally talking about this yesterday. I do think those 2 combo very nicely. The problem is I don't think the other Golgari cards, build on that shell. There's no other real aggressive Golgari cards that you want to be playing.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, hear me out here, but can we find a way to get Jund Dinos going again? I mean, there's still Marauding Raptor, there's still Rotting Regisaur.
and those are the only two.
All right. But yeah, it doesn't seem like it's got a ton of work, but I mean, there's still cards being spoiled. And I think that just interaction right there is powerful enough to want to give it a shot, right? Like,
Yeah, I do want to like try to build around it, but I was looking the other night on doing some gather searching, looking for cards, and they're like, the Golgari cards are firmly in the mid range. You're looking at things like good removal spells. You're looking at Find Finality. Some of the more aggressive cards are graveyard oriented, like Glow Spore Shaman and Charnel Troll. I'm not really interested in putting those cards in my deck ever.
No.
Granted, I am playing Glow Spore Shaman later today. But,
you're playing it next.
But they're not cards that I want to put in like a generic aggro deck. I need to be developing graveyard synergies, and that's not really what we're doing there.
Yeah, it seems like it's tough to get work. Just in general, I think Rotting Regisaur is just kind of a bad card. I mean, even
big.
It's so big, but I mean, it was good in Jund Dinos because it had haste. But I think without haste, it just seems really tough. But I could be wrong. I haven't steered away from my beloved dinos yet to try anything else. So, all right. So you'll be first.
I will be first again.
Game 2. Let's go.
My hand is a little bit mana heavy, but we do have a sink and we have a good curve, so it's definitely a keep.
Our hand is also a little mana heavy, but I think it's good enough to keep. We're gonna try it.
We'll start on Felt Collector. Pass the turn.
All right. Well, I think we will just start on land go.
Okay. Let's play Growth Chamber Guardian. Get a counter on the Spell Collector. Mash for 2.
Okay. I'm going to shock something. Now, I don't know what I would rather shock. I think Growth Chamber Guardian is just worse for me. But Spell Collector gets out of hand. Yeah, we'll get Growth Chamber Guardian out of there.
You're at 18.
18.
I agree. It's too early to be, worrying that much about your life total.
Exactly. All right. Not a great draw on our part, but we'll play this and attack.
I'm at 18. How many cards you got?
I have 5.
5. Yeah, I have 4.
Okay. Robber of the Ridge so far has not impressed me. In the
I agree. I don't think it's a particularly good card.
I don't either. It's too hard to make it work. We even have a few. I guess this is the only rogue.
Attack for 2.
16?
But all that flavor.
It does have flavor, but how worth it is flavor? All right, we're going to go like this. Now we're going to go to attack. Double trigger.
No, I have 4 cards in my hand.
I have 3.
Oh.
You have more cards, yeah.
Crap.
That's
yeah,
more
you double
cards.
spelled. Okay,
Exile the top card of your library. Okay, I'm guessing I get to look at them, right?
Yeah.
I think this is the first time we've ever gotten this to go, so. Okay. So they stay exiled in any time that a rogue attacks. So I'm guessing, do you get to see them?
No.
Okay. All right, we'll keep them a secret.
Let's make sure we know which. I guess they they stay exiled.
They're in a general thing because whenever a rogue attacks, then you unlock it. Yep.
Oh, okay. Well, keeping a 4-lander and then drawing 2 lands was bad, as was keeping a 3-lander and drawing 0 lands.
Wait, it's opponent's did you use Ross's library?
Oh no, I didn't.
Yeah. That's the other. I knew we were doing something.
We were doing something wrong here.
I believe they're supposed to be face up. I thought because we ran into this issue last time.
Did we? And they're supposed to be face up. I mean, it would make sense, right?
Yeah.
There's more cards.
Okay.
Then you exile the top of their library. Okay. Those are way worse.
But you can pay whatever mana, right?
Yep.
Can you play lands off this thing?
I believe you can. Yep. So many words. Did you notice every card of Throne of Eldraine just has so many?
It's cast.
Okay, so these are gone for good.
The land's irrelevant.
Okay.
Now I can actually go do a thing. So that's cool.
Not cool.
I will play a Questing Beast because that card is really good.
Questing Beast is really good.
That'll level my Pelt Collector, so now it can check any of the creatures, and we're going to play a little defense here and just get in with the Beast itself.
Just for 4, okay.
Yeah, no blocking available for you because all your creatures are small.
Quote of the day already. We're going to play a little defense. Attack for 4.
Corey, with the robber, you said you're not very impressed with it, but does it get better against control decks that'll normally have a lot of cards in their hand, or do you think they're just gonna have enough ways to deal with it?
Definitely would be better against control. So far we really haven't played against a lot of it, nor do I think control is going to be that great. Just because of cards like this, I mean, how do you play great planeswalkers? So I think if control does start to take over, then I think it will be better. But the way it stands, whoops, I'm throwing cards. Well, we're in trouble here. If we take a look at my hand, we got some options. Now, which option do we want to choose? I'm kind of thinking this, but we'll go with this here.
You can also play Barkite Troll.
Only if I've attacked.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I could attack. Yeah.
Upgrade your robber into a Barkite Troll.
Not bad. Your turn.
Apparently no interest in that.
No.
Okay. So let's play a forest here.
Okay.
We'll play Vivian Arcbow Ranger.
Okay.
I'm going to plus it, get some counters on my things. Not really worried about Corey's creatures.
Sure.
And then just get in for 5.
And I can't block, so I'll go to 7.
7. Pass the turn.
And now I'm just dead next turn because Ross can just add Vivian to that. All right. Well, that's probably not going to help my cause.
Well, if you attack with one of these, you can get to play 3/3 to block.
Yeah. It definitely can.
If that's something you're interested in, I'll definitely block with Pelt Collector.
Yeah, and I can't even get a second card, so we'll go like this, and then we'll play this. We'll pass to you. It's the only way to just stay alive.
Yep.
And now you just have options, like you can just have this fight here, so I automatically take 5, and then this is a trampler for 4.
Yeah, I kind of like that. So let's mine it. No, because this thing you can get that Hex.
Oh, that's true.
That's not a
almost got him.
So let's just make this big.
Yeah, makes sense. Then I have to jump
and attack you. You take 4, go to 3.
Yep.
And pass the turn. Maybe I was supposed to get in with this too.
Probably.
Because then you have to at least block with this.
Yep.
Maybe you triple block just to. Yeah, let's attack with that one too.
Triple block.
Yeah. Just
nothing else I can
trade
do.
Boards. Pass the turn. We both flooded pretty badly there. But when we flood and one of my cards is a questing beast and all of your cards are ones and 2/2s
and 1s, yeah, exactly. That makes for a little bit of lopsided games here. But what do you think? Should we shift to the sideboard or play?
We have 2 quick games there.
Those were 2 quick games.
We're probably going to end up doing a best of 5.
Yeah.
And because we're still in the testing phase, I like to do more unsideboarded games. So let's play a third pre-board and then we'll do
I like it. And then 2
posts.
Perfect. And we're doing that. We got some time for some questions. What do you got, Rob?
Yeah, Ineffable Bot wants to know, you kind of mentioned that you didn't think control decks were going to be very good.
Yeah.
As part of that, do you think that the sweepers are not going to be good? They were asking if you think Realm Cloak Giant would be a good sweeper in control decks, or if it's just not great.
So the problem with Realm Cloak Giant, I love the flavor of this card. This card is good. 5 mana Wrath, reasonable, right? Day of Judgment, Wrath of God are the 4 mana slot is what you want to be aiming for, but 5, you can make work. And then it creates a giant, so you can cast a second one. You can Teferi bounce the giant to bounce and cast another removal spell. So I do think there is going to be a blue-white control deck with that. But here's my problem. The same time they printed this card, they also spoiled that great red giant, the Flametongue Kavu card. Questing Beast is a giant. And if these are going to be cards that are played a lot, having conditional wrath effects is really not great. I'd rather just play Time Wipe at that point if these beasts are relevant. So that card scares me a little bit. But I'm sure there will be a control deck. But week 1, when people are figuring out a metagame, control is not going to be there. But, after the format develops a bit, then somebody will solve it, but.
So there's a small issue of each deck, a lot of decks have 1 giant, but you're going to be focused. You can focus your removal spells on those cards. You can play.
Yeah.
But
it's not always how it works out, but yeah.
Yeah. I just don't see the mana working out for most control decks.
Yeah.
Maybe you can do if you want to get 8 temples, which is what we've been talking about, maybe you can go Jeskai.
Yeah. And Jeskai Walkers is essentially a control deck, and I think that deck will live on. If you consider that control, Sure, because you can play some Wrath effects in that. Teferi can still bounce the Giant. I mean, it's pretty sweet there. But just like traditional control, like...
I don't think you're going to be seeing a lot of Sinister Sabotages.
Exactly, yeah. That's a perfect example. Except from Blue-Green Flash. That deck's real. Yeah. But good question, my friend. Keep those questions coming in. Make sure to tag at SCG Tour. All right, we're on the play this time. I will keep
as well.
Mountain, go.
Forest, go.
We're playing Magic as Richard Garfield intended here.
With a full art basic lands.
So you have a lot of cards, right?
I have 7.
Okay. Well, all right, we're going to get in with Robert. Might actually be pretty good here. Okay, your turn.
So
I got a 1/1 there.
I can play this, which will check the robber unless Corey has Slay the Spire or a Skewer would be hard for you to have. I guess you could just tap out.
Mm-hmm.
Am I okay with that? I think so. Or I can try to ambush, but that's so bad against shock. This is a little awkward because
it's a tricky one for you.
It is a tricky one.
Tricky. Yeah, especially with Robber the Rich not hitting lands from your opponent's deck, where half the time it's dead, even though it's hard to get working. That makes me even lower on it. Once again, against control, it'll be kind of sweet. But
I'm pretty low on the situation where Corey does have the removal spell.
Red doesn't have any removal.
Yeah. Because then my next turn is not particularly good either. Whereas here, like, I'll at least follow up with something good. So I'm going to pass the turn.
Okay. All right. And we're going to go with a basic mountain. And you have how many cards?
7.
7. Perfect. So I don't have to do much here, if anything.
That's what happens when you don't cast spells.
All right. Now, do I want to start just casting stuff from the top of your deck? Which probably... I'll attack. Trigger. All right.
Before blocks, I'll play Wildborn Preserver.
Okay, you can block. Okay. Now, I won't be attacking with rogues, so I mean, I really just have to cast these spells now. So yeah, we'll cast these. I got more green creatures than you.
I'll play a Barkite Troll.
Okay.
Pass the turn.
All right. If you control another non-human, that I do. Castle.
That's pretty good.
Not bad, huh? Okay. I will attack, get a counter.
It's not a counter, it just gets +1.
Oh, okay.
So we're you have me at 18, right?
I do, yep.
So I can take this attack for 4, go to 14. You have 4 cards in hand?
I have 5.
5. If I block anything, it is likely that Corey just activates the castle and trades. But I think that's reasonable for me because my hand is pretty powerful. So I'm just going to force Corey to not, develop his battlefield this turn.
Seems reasonable. Yeah, we'll do it. Take 3.
Okay. So I take 3. These die. I'm at 15.
Your turn. 15 to 20.
Forest, Questing Beast, smash you for 4.
16.
You can go.
All right. Questing Beast, of course. Very good.
Going to be important for Corey to have the Slay the Spire here.
That it would be. All right. We're going to go with a Runaway Steamkin.
Yep.
And I'll attack.
So this block is clearly setting up a shock. My left is high enough that I think I can take it. I'll go to 13.
13, and then we'll play a couple of these, get a couple of counters, pass it to you. And try to spit some fire at you.
You have how many cards?
I have 3. Castle is quite good with a bunch of creatures. Who would have guessed?
All
right.
2, 4, 6, 9. That's 13.
Is this test card correct? Isn't Questing Beast legendary? No, I'm serious. Isn't Questing Beast legendary?
It is.
Yeah. It
Oh,
actually is. Yeah.
Did not realize.
Yeah. I was like,
It doesn't
holy.
seem like a card that would be legendary.
It needs another keyword, man. The card with 15 words on it doesn't seem like it's legendary.
Well, by the name, it just says Questing Beast. It's a very generic name.
Sure.
So, like, plenty of beasts go on quests.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, but this is the special one that you have to
Yeah.
get rid of on your heroic quest.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's get in for 4.
Well, I don't want to chump with my Runaway Steamkin, so I'll go to 12. We got 12 to 13.
And then I'm going to play a Wildwood Tracker.
Okay.
I have a Vivian. The question is whether or not what do I want to do with it? I can deal with the Runaway Steamkin right now. The Vivian will probably die to Scorch Spitters, and or I can just plus and try to pump my creatures and set up better blocks. Because I'm assuming Corey is a shock, if I were to plus, I would put both counters on the tracker to make sure it doesn't die. And then, my Vivian's on 5, which is pretty good. I can probably still take an attack from this. You have 3 cards.
3 cards.
I'm wondering what happens if you have Cavalcade, because you have 3 things that can trigger it. So like a Cavalcade would let you, maybe just send everything at me and try to get a big attack in. I would take 5 direct damage there, go to 8. And I'd have to be worried about the shock putting me to 6. This is a 2. I would probably end up just blocking here and here. And go to 6 from damage. But that sort of not dealing with these is rough. So I think I need to just play more defensively and set up better blocks. And if we trade resources, that's fine. So I'm going to minus and deal damage to the Steamkin.
All right. It's dead.
Just having Death Touch for this is nice too. You can kill like a big Hydra Crisis or something.
That is nice. Yeah.
And then pass.
I wish I had the gut shot. I guess that wouldn't matter. All right. Now that was an important draw. Was it
5?
That would also be important, but no. It was indeed the Slaying Fire, which I can't see myself not wanting to just kill this Questing Beast here. So it would have been insane if Ross didn't kill this Runaway. Runaway is definitely what I wanted to just go absolutely nuts this turn, so I think that was for sure the correct play. So Slaying Fire, killing this. Now, do we care about dealing with Tracker? Probably not. So I think we'll just attack everything at you. We'll deal 1.
No, you have to attack a Planeswalker to deal.
Deals 1 down. Nope, the damage attack.
It deals 1 damage to the player or Planeswalker it is attacking.
Oh, okay, gotcha. So, well, that's a little awkward. That is a wee bit awkward. Well, we'll still do that. 1 to... Or do we just attack you? Nah, it's not really lethal. 1 to Vivian and these 2 to you.
Okay, so Vivian's going to come down.
Yep.
I am going to trade here. I'll take 1 from this trigger and then 2 from that.
Yep, so
So
take 3,
I'm
you
gonna
go
end
to
up at 10.
10. All
Let's
right,
trade.
this is dead. And then we'll go Footlight Fiend and pass it to you.
Okay. Pelt Collector.
Okay.
Questing Beast. Get a counter on the Pelt Collector. Attack for another 4.
Seems good. Down to 8.
Pass the turn.
Okay. Interesting. Very interesting. Okay, well, Questing Beast here once again is just very bad for us. So we're going to start by... attacking for 2?
I will block.
Okay.
Just trying to preserve my life total. This Questing Beast should take it down in a turn or 2.
All right. Chandra, shock. Go to 2 loyalty on this. This probably gets exiled,
Yes.
right? Yep. Okay. Pass to you.
That didn't go well. Didn't go well at all.
Yeah, Chandra's nice here.
Drew
So now I have a little bit of food.
card.
Another questing beast? That would have been probably the best possible.
Yeah, so I probably just punted this game, I guess. If I'd just taken the 2, but then I'd be under a lot of pressure to try to race.
Yeah. And if you block with questing beast, then I go shock pelt collector and then shock that. So it would have been the same. If you didn't block, I think that would add to maybe something being different.
Yeah, I think I'd be very dead regardless, actually.
Yeah.
I think I'm dead right now. So this is going to be 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I guess I'm
Oh,
10.
yeah, I forgot. These are, this
Yeah,
makes
you make
4
one
damage.
and then castle, yeah.
Yeah, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. No, you're not dead. You're at 10.
I'm not dead, but I don't think there's anything I can draw next turn, but I guess I'll just play this and plus with... No,
Would you like to put any counters on these?
No, you're good.
All right, so... I guess this is... Okay, now you're dead. Oh, wait, no, it's the same, I guess, huh? It's the same amount of damage, yeah.
Essentially.
Okay, well, we'll still play this.
Yeah.
Might as well. Get 2 Ross Merriams. And I can't die to questing beast, so we'll just go everything at you. Put you down to 1.
So yeah, this is basically going to be 1.
8,
yeah,
9, yep. Okay, your
1.
turn. What a calamity.
And just make sure that I'm...
Oh, yeah, I guess you can tutor up your graveyard, huh?
I can tutor from outside the game. It's my sideboard.
Yeah.
But I don't think that is going to do enough.
No.
I can tutor for this. I can play castle. I can tutor for shifting Ceratops, play castle, make 6 green, but then I can't. I just have 5 damage. So, yeah.
All right. Dead. Snuck that one out. That was a good game. That was a really close game where it was just power versus, kind of scrappiness from the mono red side,
Just drawing the Slaying Spire into land 5 to exactly kill both questing beasts when I've been aggressively trading resources, assuming that my cards would end up being better than yours, and you ended up having just enough to trade for the questing beast that I was hoping to dominate, and then you were ahead on cards early from the robber, from being on the play. So it all sort of came together to put you ahead. And you had to sacrifice a few cards. I guess you didn't really have to sacrifice much card advantage to deal with the beast. It was just 1 Chandra activation, not an actual extra card. Yeah, so I think the big deal is if I was on the draw where Robert didn't activate, I just don't think I possibly would. So I think that was a very play dependent. And I mean, that is pretty much how mono green big creatures versus, red usually works. Yeah. Whoever's on the play, it's... I could have maybe been a little bit less cavalier with my life, or a little bit more cavalier with my life.
No, I'm the cavalier.
Yeah. And then
I'm the calamity deck.
Maybe tried to get some value out of the Vivian because I drew a bunch of them. I ended up drawing 3, and it was a little awkward because I was trading resources, so I didn't really have anything to do with them.
Okay.
But maybe I don't know. Maybe I was supposed to do something different to try to set up those Vivians.
Who knows? Well, we're going to take just a short break to set up sideboarding here. We're going to play the last 2 games of this series. See who can start it off, the little red creatures or the big green monsters. So stay tuned.
And welcome back here to Sideboarding with Mono Green Aggro against Mono Red Calamity. We're slowing down here in the sideboard games. So, on my side, we're bringing out some of our creatures that are best when we're curving out and being aggressive. That's Wildwood Tracker and Sir Farron the Hedgehammer. All cards more vulnerable to the red removal as well. Don't get into combat that well. Better when you're gold fishing. We're instead getting a lot of removal. We got some Prey Upons, which should be good because most of Corey's creatures are quite small. Thrashing Brontodon has a sizable body that can answer potential experimental frenzies. And then Crawl Harpooner, which is a reasonable creature, but deals with the most problematic creature on Corey's side, which is Chandra Spitfire. Yeah. If you tap out for Spitfire and I fight it with Crawl Harpooner, it is just a huge win for me. Even later, even if you don't have Spitfire and I have to curve out with this, at least as reach can block it for a turn and trade that way. So it's probably going to demand a shock.
Basically, in the history of time, whenever Harpooner just killed a creature and stayed around, it's just always, your opponent's always just like, oh, no.
Yeah, that effect for 2 mana. And then on the draw, I'm going to trim 1 Vivian. If we get to game 5, I'll be bringing this back in and cutting something else.
But you are on the play.
Oh, I'm on the play.
Yeah.
I don't know why I always get so confused. He's on the draw. On the play, I think I'm just going to then cut my worst 2-drop that is bad in multiples, which is Wildborn Preserver.
Yeah, I think just making your deck more effective against shock, I think seems great, because if I ever get to shock one of your creatures, it's kind of the same as Harpooner, you know?
This deck has a ton of 2-drops. It's a little light on 3s, so Bronton's going to help us there. I did that because we already have Growth Chamber Guardian that can be like 2 and 3.
Yeah.
And there just weren't that many good green 3-drops available, so I'm cutting 4 2-drops, but I don't think that's a problem. We're bringing 2 back in. We've got plenty, so this pretty well preserves our curve, which is important. Gives us a lot more removal, which is good to break up some of the synergies that go on there. Bronton can also destroy Cavalcaded Calamities, which is important.
Or the one Frenzy. I'm siding right in. And have you ever Vivian'd a Growth Chamber Guardian? Because that's nice.
Yes.
Search.
Some synergy.
So we're not doing anything too crazy on our end. This is going to be a very heavily dependent play draw decision from my part. Robber the Rich, insane on the play, but on the draw, pretty bad. So since we're going to be on the draw, I'm going to be taking these out for just ways to deal with Questing Beast. Plain and simple. I'm trying to deal with 4 toughness creatures, as well as I just needed one more thing to bring in. So it was either I bring in Tybalt or, I have Fry, War Boss, Frenzies. I think 1 Frenzy is fine, even though I don't think it's too particularly great when I'm not comboing off as hard as like the mono red aggro decks did from last season. But, it's still Experimental Frenzy. Maybe this card should just always be. But, we're playing new Throne of Eldraine cards. I'm not just going to bring Frenzy mono red to the table, right? We want to do some new stuff. So on the play, I may be shifting Robber of the Riches back in, but it could just be that the card is just not good enough and just Lava Coil is better. Yeah.
It's also just an awkward card when your opponent has a lot of cheap creatures and can block it down more effectively.
Exactly.
I think that card's going to end up being more of a sideboard role player when you're playing aggressive decks against more controlling decks.
Yeah.
It can be sort of your your Thief of Sanity and like control mirrors.
Yeah.
If you're both red somehow.
That's true. Like Grixis mirrors or something. Like
just
I don't know.
Planeswalker mirrors.
Yeah. No, that totally makes sense. And it pressures Planeswalkers. I mean, still, then you look at that being like, well, why wouldn't I just want War Boss? But maybe 3 mana to 2 mana is different. Yeah. But yeah, I'm under the impression there's a lot of cards that have impressed me from Throne, but so far, Robber the Rich has not really impressed me. Yeah. Well, we got any questions while we're shuffling up?
Yeah, so we have 2 questions here about mana again.
Okay.
Automatic 72 wants to know, how good do you think Fabled Passage will be?
I'm pretty high on this card. This is
one's that again?
This is the Evolving Wilds that taps the land if it's turn 4 or later. The awkward part is like playing this. It's hard to know how many you want, because if you draw 2 in your opening hand, it can be awkward, especially if you pair it with temples.
Yeah.
But it's such a powerful effect being able to find 3 colors of mana in a 3-color deck, and the mana fixing so far in the format is pretty bad.
Yeah.
That I expect this card to see a lot of play, and honestly, I think it's going to end up being pretty good.
Yeah, I think this card's insane. I mean,
4 on is not the standard games go that far.
So you still run into the problem where if you are a deck that's trying to curve out, turns 1 through 3 are very important. So if you are not able to play your Teferi Time Reveler on turn 3 or something like that, I mean, that is a cost. So the card isn't perfect, but it's much better in Evolving Wilds, obviously. It fixes mana in a format where if you're not an 8 temple deck, your mana base is going to be rough. And on turn 4, which is kind of when you really need to be casting big stuff, like it's going to be Questing Beast's best friend, I bet, if Questing Beast goes out to a non-mono green shell, like if it just wants to play, green Jund or, Abzan, whatever, being able to still have your Evolving Wilds cast a powerful 4-drop is going to be a big deal. So, I mean, I think this card's going to be a huge player. Yep.
All right. And then, the Dunes wants to know, is 8 temples too many in a mid-range style deck, or do you think that's an appropriate number?
So it's just like kind of what we were saying, mana is so bad, you don't have a choice. It's either you play that or you're not playing your spells effectively. And under the right deck, I think it's fine. Like Abzan, where it's slow, but you're dealing with creatures and stuff. I think it's reasonable to be slowing down, but we're going to see how fast the format is. What do you think?
I think we've seen this over the course of Theros Con Standard, where decks were playing quite a lot of temples by the end. And you make up for a little bit of early tempo loss by making sure that you hit your 3, 4, 5 powerful things and catch up. And then late in the game, there's such great top decks. I don't think 8 is too many at all.
I don't either. And I mean, there's plenty of times where you go like, 2-drop and then on turn 3 temple and another 2-drop, and then you set up for your turn 4 Vraska or whatever. And I think that sequence is completely fine. So I've never really minded 8 temples, but of course, whenever you want to, cast your Crackling Drake on turn 4 and you draw the blue-red temple, you're like, tilt. So it has gives and take. And, these maybe mono green or mono red decks are going to run over these 8 temple decks on the first week of standard. Only time will tell. All right, so let's get back to this. I am going to be on the draw, and I'm up 2-1 in the series here. All right, how's your hand?
It is very mana heavy. This hand just cannot beat a shock. And I think that means it's not keepable. We've got really powerful cards to be casting, and keeping a hand that's on 7 that's so dependent on Corey just not having a 4 of in his hand is very bad.
A little rough. Okay, well, from our side here, if we take a peek, so this is the one Pyroxy we have in our hand, which is a perfectly fine card right now. I don't think there's a way we could possibly mulligan this. Some decent interaction, good creatures. It's all good. I'm going to keep.
Okay.
All right. We got time for one more question if you got one?
Stork21 wants to know what you think of Brazen Borrower, the 3 mana, 3/1 flash flying, can't be blocked by flying with an adventure for 1 and a blue.
Oh, yeah. We
disperse.
We played that right on time, right? Yeah. Tuesday, you played Simic Flash. No way that card would have been included in that deck, right?
No, not at all.
The card's insane. Like, not only is it an evasive threat, but, if you have 6 mana on Frilled Mystic outs, bounce it, counter something, it has an effective body. I think that card is great. I think that card is really good. I can't see a home outside of Blue-Green Flash for it as of right now, but, I mean, when your home is so inviting, when you have a perfect home, why do you need a second home, right?
Yeah, that's just greedy.
Yeah, exactly. You don't need a summer home in Florida and a beautiful home here in Roanoke, Virginia. You just need one.
No one has a summer home in Florida.
You cannot bounce your own.
Yeah, it's their stuff.
Oh.
But
all right.
Not that good a combo. But
yeah. I mean, that is like the only interaction that makes bouncing your own stuff good and dodging removal and stuff. So that is a cost. That does make it worse, but still a great card.
Reasonable 6 here. Definitely going to put away an extra land, and we'll start on Forest Pass.
All right. So we are going to start on a Footlight Fiend and pass it to you.
Okay. I have Growth Chamber Guardian.
All right.
Pass the turn.
It's a good magic card.
Got the shock.
We're going to find out. We are going.
Always has the shock.
Put that card back in play. Now, what do we want to do? I think we are just going to get in there.
Do not want to make this trade.
You don't want to block?
I will go to 19.
All right, 19. I'm at 20, and we're just going to do a runaway. Okay. Your turn. Giving you the option.
Ooh, that is somewhat interesting. So I didn't have anything to do this turn, which is why I wanted to keep the Guardian around. And now I do have something to do this turn. And I think that's better than getting the Guardian. Yeah. So I'm going to attack for 2.
Okay. 18.
To 18, and I will play a Barkhide Troll.
Troll's good.
Pass the turn.
All right. Okay, so we drew a land. That's pretty solid. Now, what do we want to do with it? I think I just want to play it nice and safe and just get this into play. Now, getting Growth Chamber Guardian going obviously is not great, but I think we're okay with that. Yeah, okay, we'll go like this. Pass it to you. Slow and steady. Setting up the old Chandra Spitfire, try to get some comboing going with it.
You have 4 cards in your hand?
I have 4 cards, yep.
This is an interesting turn. It's a question of how much I think that Spitfire
is going to
matter.
How much
of a threat
Yeah.
it is right now. A Cavalcade next turn gets 2 triggers, so that's going to be a 7-power creature. Plus the 2 triggers is 9 damage.
That's crazy.
That
how
is
fast
quite a
that
lot.
goes, yeah.
And, that could be paired along with a shock to get up to 14 damage. That'll put me to 5, and then the Cavalcade is a huge threat. So just the Cavalcade itself, I think, makes Spitfire really threatening, which means I'm going to have to play Vivian, and Bark-Eyed Troll will deal 3 damage to it.
All right.
At this point, not sure. So if I attack with Bark-Eyed Troll, the Steamkin probably just gets really big, though it's probably going to get big anyway. This is not a fight, so this has no damage on it.
Yep.
You could just chump with the Footlight Fiend and put the point here, but you get that with just attacking with it next turn.
Yep.
I don't expect it to untap with this Vivian. You expect this Steamkin to not be blockable. So the only question is if I want to offer this trade by attacking with both. And I don't think I do, because I think we're in a spot where we're now trading resources, and eventually this will come up and be good.
Okay.
But I do think I want to get in for 3.
Okay. I think that's a pretty reasonable attack here. I'll just take it. I'll go to 15 and you're at 19, correct?
Yep. Pass the turn.
All right. Now let's see what we can do here. Not a great draw. Now, what is the best play here? Now, while you're tapped out, I could try to deal with this troll. But that doesn't seem insane to me. Well, if we take a peek at our hand, so this is our option. We can either do this, or we can play this. Both good options. Let's see. I think we're just going to play it safe and go with this. This card's just really good right now. All right, we're going to go with Torben.
Yep.
Trigger. I'm going to attack Vivian here and you with this.
You are not wrong.
Pretty solid magic card right now.
I don't think I have any good blocks. I guess I could make this trade. You would just deal 2 to me, probably.
This is tough. So there's a lot of options if you block. I mean, I don't even know what I would do.
Yeah. I could also just jump here and save myself 6 damage.
Yeah.
But I don't see
I
myself.
believe it's only 5.
Because
Plus
it's +2.
Yeah, not double. Yeah.
Not double. Save myself 5. I guess actually, if I block this, then the Footlight Fiend goes over here. So I'm losing the Vivian regardless. I can trade here, but this 1/1 isn't actually doing a whole lot.
Just pestering you.
So I think I just say no blocks.
Okay, take 5.
I'm at 14.
Shoot a 14, your turn.
Torben is going to be difficult to beat.
Yeah, Torben's good.
I do like having a land there to keep my troll.
Let's pay the troll toll.
Up. Do have a questing beast, which is a good one. Attack you for 4.
All right, I'm at 11.
Pass a turn.
Okay, so now we're gonna try to just go off, as the kids say. Okay, so we're gonna start with Runaway Steamkin. Now I'm going to. I'm for sure going to do something. How many counters do I want to remove on this? I think it's actually worthwhile here. Okay, so we're going to go with 3 red.
Yep.
Lava Coil Questing Beast. One red floating. I could just pump. I just pump. Actually, I'm sorry. I'm going to take this back and just do this like that.
Okay.
Just not remove the counters. I think that's a lot better. Now, I just don't see how this could be wrong. We'll just shock here. Even the shock could have taken down the questing beast, which is pretty sweet with Torbran. All right, and then we'll attack. Oh, this gets a counter as well. That's scary. That is scary. Woo! Torbran's good. Torbran is a magic card.
What a surprise.
Yeah. What a surprise. A 4-mana 4/4 that absolutely does ridiculous abilities would be good.
I don't think I have any outs here.
I don't think so either. Like, even if you want to block this, they trade and then you still take 3.
Yeah, so this is 6 and 4, so that's 10. And then this is
13.
This is an attack for 13.
And if you block, it's still 13.
Yeah, and I just don't. I'm not going to end up getting any good blocks ever because
That just seems.
I just block here and prevent the most damage. This is 5. I go to 9.
This is
or
7.
7.
Yep.
Sorry, yeah. I go to 7.
Yep.
And then this will be lethal next turn because of the castle, and I would just be dead.
Mm-hmm. You would need
Yeah,
like questing beast prey upon or something.
block
Yeah.
here.
All right, go to 1.
I'm at 1.
Your turn.
Yeah.
Oh, Torbran. And it's crazy just a shock dealt with questing beast there with this in play.
Yeah.
That's insane. Well, pretty good showing from the mono red deck. I mean, I think there's a lot of synergies. It seems like very play dependent. I was able to steal that one with having a good amount of removal and just trying to go over the top instead of just attack you with 1/1s. You know, I
Yeah.
felt like that was pretty important.
Well,
And
as it turned out, the Spitfire was not much of a threat at all.
it wasn't. Yeah.
So if I had just played normally and left up and dealt with the Torbran with Vivian, then I think I'm pretty far ahead.
It would have been better for you for sure.
There are plenty of hands where if I don't kill the Chandra, then I lose the Spitfire,
yeah.
then I die. So it really came down to that one decision. And like, if I had a Gitaxian Probe, we would have been fine. But that's not how Magic is played.
And we didn't see your 3-mana rare.
Four
that
games,
card seems
0
insane.
Yorvos.
Yeah, and I mean I drew mine right at the end, but. Yeah, it was that's the one thing I love about just great standard decks over the court, or just great decks in general, is if they attack on so many different axes where they're not a one-track deck, they're just hard to play against. And decks that are hard to play against are just good decks because it's impossible to have perfect information and to make the accurate play every time. So, well, that was our first round. I think this was a pretty nice matchup here. Yeah. Mono Red got the best of it.
And we are right on time to move on. So we're going to take a 5-minute break here before we set up match 2. It's going to be a nice one.
Oh, yeah. This is the one I think I'm most excited about.
Yeah, we got 2 spicy decks. You'll see them come up during the break, and we will talk about them and get to match 2 when we come back.